We live, we live, we live. Episode 2, Driving Me Sane. Appreciate y'all joining. Got my homie JT joining in about 30 minutes. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Driving Me Sane show on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the show, Facebook, TikTok. We on there now too. Uh, People keep feeling some type of way. One thing about social media, you don't take everything as real people, of course, but at the same time, you can tell the difference a lot of times. If it's a real person commenting, you can also tell a lot of times if somebody just doing it just to do it, somebody's just, hey, you suck, just to say, hey, you suck, so you can't pay attention to everything. But I found out, and you and everybody realizes after a while, you do have to pay attention to some of it because it's the reality of the way people think. So what I'm gonna do is let's just take a
I
look
want to
at
hear
what.
why Trump supporters who may have been in situations where maybe a friend or a former friend of theirs no longer wants to be friends with them because they chose to support Trump. I've been in this situation.
All right.
I want to hear why Trump supporters who may have been in situations where maybe a friend or a former friend of theirs no longer wants to be friends with them because they chose to support Trump. I've been in this situation. I have a friend, and me personally.
Dang, I can't slow that down. That's crazy. Okay, so let me try to share my screen. Let me do this a different way. Do that. Dang. Okay, let me go to my videos. Let's go here. All right. Okay. So let's see what the people been talking about on my videos. It's always interesting to see what we doing on YouTube. How strongly people feel about you posting. Now, I don't post anything for clout. So whatever I post, I feel that way. I'm willing to talk about it, debate about it. I'm not really, debate about it, but I'm not really trying to convince anybody of anything. But I feel like if you say something, especially if you say it publicly, you should be able to stand on it. So if anybody wants to join me, feel free. I ask for the link and I'll send it to you, and you can definitely join me. This video here that I posted got a lot of attention, and let's just play it.
This is for any Trump supporter who think that they winning on earth. They think we mad about the election. We not mad. See, when shit go bad here on earth, people start to pray a lot more. Yeah, people pray a lot more when shit go bad. So you keep thinking you winning on earth. You ain't winning.
So people started to comment, and let's go to the comments. All right, so Robert Fincher said the praying has been answered. Donald Trump is our president. God bless America. He's a proud American. He probably is somebody who got, the Trump flags on the back of his truck, probably got the Trump flag, the American flag on his grass. I ain't really say much. I just comment. I don't really go back and forth too much, especially not with people like this. Um, Again, he say the praying has been answered. Donald Trump is our president. Okay, look, I'm pretty sure people prayed that Donald Trump be his president. They president. I'm pretty sure people prayed about that. Pretty sure. I'm not about to sit up here and say God chose one side or the other. People who go out of their way to work in the phrase "I'm a Christian man" or has the ability to turn anything into some type of religious rant generally are the business owners who don't give out raises and give 35 hours a week so they don't have to pay people full time. But I, I had no clue what this person was talking about. I don't know if they were saying that I have a business where I pay people these salaries and shit. I mean, they giving me a lot of credit. I don't definitely ain't doing all that. Uh, I have no clue. Sounds like a Trump supporter. I ain't gonna lie, but I have no clue what they're talking about. Now, if Kyle is saying that I'm turning politics into religion, let's play again. I'm basically saying for anybody, and I had somebody else say this isn't a game or something like that. It's not. I'm not saying this is a game. What I'm saying is that if you are a Trump supporter and you feel that type of way as if you've accomplished something and that you have that you're one step closer to achieving all these great things, you need to really sit back and think about, is this right? We really need to sit back and think about those things. You need to sit back and think about that, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I feel like people who voted for Trump did not vote for right. I feel like people who voted for Trump did not vote for people. They were not pro people. They're more, I'm voting for myself. They're more selfish. They're more, no, don't give to them, give more to me. I don't believe in that mindset. And to be honest with you, I don't believe that is a godly mindset. I really don't. I don't believe that that is a mindset that God wants us to live by. So if he's saying that that's what I'm doing is making it, sure. I mean, look, I feel like the more godly people are, the more God that people has in them, the better the world would be, right? Unfortunately, we all know we're in the devil's world, so the election was not really surprising. Did you not turn a political conversation into religion? I'm saying you and people like you are the type of people that will screw someone over in a heartbeat for their own gain. This is typical. I don't even know if this is Trumpism or is this just, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to flip it on you. Or I'm going to try to make it seem like, I mean, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what's the example of this. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's trying to say that I'm turning political conversation into religion. Okay, let's just say that that's what I'm doing. But how are you connecting that to someone who would screw someone over in a heartbeat? Um, there's a lot of shady people out there in general. You don't have to, I mean, sure, a lot of people who talk religion are shady. Yeah, sure. But there's a lot of people who talk religion that are not shady. So it sounds like he has a history of dealing with some shady people in religion. He also may have some own issues with himself where he may have some questions about religion that he doesn't understand and that he has doubts about, whatever it may be. But I'm simply saying, and again, I'm simply saying, for anybody out there who think that they have won anything or that they are winning or that they are over anybody or any of that kind of stuff, just understand what you really voted for. Just understand what you're supporting. That's what I'm saying. Understand what you're supporting, because I do not believe I could have voted for Trump and then go and talk to God and say that I made a good decision. I believe that if I voted for Trump, I would not be okay. And at the end of the day, to me and how I view sin, I would feel like I've sinned because I did something that I knew was not right. That doesn't mean that everybody who voted for Trump sinned. No, pretty sure that people felt in their heart that they were making the right decision. I'm giving you what my perspective is and what I think a lot of people who voted against Trump, especially a lot of Christians, pretty sure they agree with that. Ryan Hall says ignorant, sure. whatever. Funny, who ain't praying? The weak candidate who vilified the rally guy who said Jesus is king. So there was a video where Kamala Harris was at one of her conferences or her rallies, and there was a lot of noise in the crowd. And the video wasn't on the people, but you can see her looking in a direction of a crowd, and there's a lot of noise. And apparently, somebody says Jesus is king or whatever, or something like that. And she responded, "Oh, you're at the wrong rally." She was obviously responding because that wasn't the only thing being said. There was a lot more being said, and there was a lot of noise. And if you go to typical, typical normal rallies, usually they're Democrats. Usually they're Democrats. Those rallies are not riled up like Trump's, where you just got a bunch of people talking and yelling and all that kind of stuff. It's usually not like that, where you have fans talking out loud and speaking out of term. No, if they're cheering, that's one thing, but you usually don't have them talking out of term. So who knows what she said? I put, if you watch the video, it's clear there's multiple people talking, and Kamala was directing that towards a group, not one person who said Jesus is king. I said, Lord, this is why prayer is needed. Why the heck would a presidential candidate go on national TV and go against God? Sometimes things don't make sense, right? Why would a potential president go on national TV and go against God? Because no matter what anybody says, you can say there's racism in the country, you can say all this. Nobody can say that this isn't a godly country, because people use the Bible to do to do slavery. I mean, they were using the Bible for that. So some things don't make sense. All right. Notice that person didn't comment after that. This isn't a game. Shaking my head. This isn't sports. This is the person that said this isn't a game. Sure. I can play that and make it sound a whole lot of different ways. I can say game. I can say whatever. At the end of the day, there's a whole lot of people very, very happy about certain things that Trump is going to be doing. That makes me feel like they think, yeah, they think they winning something. They think that they're going to get this big return. And let's just say they do. They really need to think about what that means. They really need to think about what they're supporting, because deportation is one of the big things that a lot of people support. It's not just, oh, Trump's going to be removing taxes on my overtime pay. No, a lot of people support, at the end of the day, a lot of people supported the deportation. A lot of people supported the abortion. So um, a lot of people supported the whole gender stuff and transgenders and all that, and so a lot of people supported those things, and all three of those things, by the way. Now, a lot of people don't really come out and say that they support a lot of the voting restriction laws and bills that the Republicans, because they don't publicize all that, right? But anyway, those three things that I mentioned, all three of those are divisive. All three of those are devices. All three, none of those are about people. None of those are about love, any of that stuff. None of that. It's all about selfishness. It's all about, oh, I seen somebody who's not from this country get a job before me, or they're making more money, or they didn't have to, I didn't see them go through the struggle that I went through. You don't know what those people went through. Please explain how any Democrat policies are biblical. Everything the Democrats want, I responded with, everything the Democrats want is pro people and pro choice. God gave us free will, but yet the Republicans continue to try to take away people's rights. You're pro, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Edwin, whoever his name is, hey, you got me. I'm not about to Google that word. Uh, so yeah, man, y'all tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking on that. Let me go and see. People really taking that Trump stuff very, very seriously. Let's see. We got, I think this was more of a positive one. This was more of a positive one. Let's play this.
Look, there's a reason why nothing's getting better. You keep going to everything else. You go to drugs, you go to family, you go to friends, you go to therapists, you go to counseling, but you don't go to the creator. Don't use everything he created, but ignore him. Sometimes we lose sight on the fact that God created the devil and the fact that we're living in the devil's world. But you got to know that to know why it's important that you have a great relationship with God. Because every day, human nature is telling you, don't do the right thing. That's why you got to stay and have that good relationship.
All right. So, actually, somebody commented and they said one said powerful. That was good to hear. It's always good to see positive things. You don't usually get a lot of positivity on social media a lot of times, but sometimes it depends on what you're talking about. So I got to say that. Somebody said, "Amen, brother." So that was good. I know there was another video where somebody said something else. Uh, let's let's see. Maybe it was this one. Nah. Ah, it was on TikTok. Dang. Okay. It was probably on TikTok. But let's see. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Got to talk about your own social media videos nowadays because social media will push whatever they want to push. So I'm gonna
It
talk
was
about my own
recently
shit.
announced that the government in the UK plans to ban people under the age of 16 from using social media. Now, if you're asking why, well, it turns out that mental health struggles is a key reason why Gen Zers are missing work. And they're missing so much work that the UK reportedly lost $178 billion. So the question becomes,
All right. So the question becomes, do should we pay? Okay. So first of all, I think hold on. Aren't there already states? Hold on. Some states may already have bans, but let me see. Do any U.S. states ban or have age restrictions on social media? What you think about? What do y'all think about age restrictions on social media? Several states have passed laws implementing age restrictions on social media, with states like Arkansas, Florida, Utah. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. Uh, okay. So some states have. So about 4 or 5 states have. Of course, right now it's a state thing. It's not a government thing. So there are in other countries like what was this in the UK, they're banning teenagers, I think under 16. So first there's a couple things here. First, is the youth mentally weak? That's what I want to know, because they saying that the youth is taking a lot of mental health days nowadays. Probably has something to do. I think that has a lot to do with things since COVID and things like that. But they're taking so many mental health days that is costing the world a lot of money. They reported, Vitali reported, V Italy, I think, I don't know how they pronounce it, reported more than 178 billion was lost in UK. That was based on Gen Z employees losing an average of 54 productive days per. You know how, first of all, who doing these numbers, man? Like, who's doing these numbers and these statistics? Like, but I get it. You got to understand how the world is working, and why money may not be flowing one way or whatever it may be. But look, I want to know what people think, because I'm one of those people. And if y'all didn't see, LeBron James recently posted that he's going to be taking a break from social media. That just came out. I think he posted it last night or earlier today. And a lot of people have been saying that they are going to be taking a break from social media, specifically Twitter. A lot of people are going from like Twitter to another social media, but LeBron is saying he's taking a break in general. I posted something, actually, if I can find that before I get my thoughts on it, uh, about social media before I even, I think, saw this, or before I know LeBron did all that. I think I posted something about social media because, uh, dang. Okay, so I post what my thoughts is when it comes to social media. if your mood goes up and down, right? If your mood goes up and down, meaning you post something or you see something, whatever it is, and your mood goes up and down based on what you're seeing on social media. For an example, if you're trying to be a content creator, or even if you're not trying to be a content creator, but you post something and you really put time and effort in it, or you thought it was going to be funny, or you thought people were going to respond with hearts, or you thought people were going to, whatever it is, if your mood and changes up and down from that, and guess what? I'm saying this because anything I say, I've been through it. I'm talking about myself mostly, but I know for a fact my mood changed based on how social media responded to something that I was posting. This could have been years ago, but no matter, I used to have different energy depending on it. When in reality, it doesn't even matter. So when it comes now, why are we banning teenagers? It's because there's a whole lot of other impact. There's a whole lot of other things that go on with social media, mentally as well. A whole lot that goes on. First of all, you can't control what people see on social media. You definitely can't control that. So you know for a fact there's a bunch of 14, 15, 16 year olds, even 13, 12 year olds that are seeing a whole lot of sexual stuff, all kind of ass and all kind of shit that's on social media that they should not be saying. Let's just keep it real. We probably saw some stuff. I'm a 90s baby, so we probably saw some things, but we had to go hunting for that shit. You had to go digging for it. Nowadays, you can just open up internet, go on Instagram, and depending on what video you liked the day before, you ain't no telling what the fuck gonna pop up on your social media. Because all of that is an algorithm. You don't have no control over it. So when the UK says that they lost all that money, when the UK says that they lost all that money, I understand that. That they lost a lot of money and that's why they want to ban it. I also understand that they want to ban it because of the mental impact of it. There's a lot of adults out there that have issues with social media. Let's just call it what it is. So if you got adults out there that got issues with social media and all that, of course you have teenagers. Of course you got to protect the teenagers and what they see and what they post and things like that. A lot of people agree with that. A lot of people say that it's way too much access. Of course, there's one thing to say it, it's another thing to say I'm gonna delete it and stay off of it, because at the end of the day, most people spend about 3-4 hours a day on social media. That's a lot of time, and everything isn't bad. There's a lot of times where you may find out some real factual stuff on social media that you just wouldn't have found out if you wasn't on there, because a lot of, not just fake news, but a lot of real news is getting on social media now too. So I definitely understood that.
It was recently announced
It
that the
was
government
interesting. That's
in
very
the UK
interesting,
is to
and
ban
it
people
looks
under the
like the
age of
U.S. is already heading that
$178
way.
billion.
The U.S. is already heading that way. There's 4 or 5 states that are already putting restrictions on teenagers as far as banning them from seeing social media. I believe that's what I read. So I wouldn't be surprised if U.S. is going that way. If the UK saying that is that much money being lost, we shall see. Let's see what else I got. Again, JT is going to be joining in about 5 to 10 minutes. He's going to be joining me in about 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see what other videos I got. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube page as well. Oh, let's talk about Ocho Cinco. What y'all thoughts on Ocho Cinco's relationship? Here's what I put.
For marriage, as am I.
Yeah.
The documentation and
I'm saying a prenup.
yeah. You all for the prenups and all that,
Hell
right?
yeah.
So where's the benefit in marriage? Who's the beneficiary?
This is for Ocho Cinco and anybody else who thinks like him. Don't get married. Let her go. you're already thinking about how she can take advantage of you and how she can hurt you. You shouldn't get married. I said this before, man. I believe marriage is like you can't hurt me without hurting you. So going into a marriage thinking that way just tells me your relationship is not ready yet because you're already thinking about how she can hurt you. And to be honest, you're probably thinking about how you can hurt her, which tells me you ain't ready.
What y'all think about that? Let's go to what the comments is. People was really commenting under that. Of course, people had stronger feelings about it. Anytime you have a strong take. Now, somebody said preach. Okay. Somebody was for it. Shaheen, Cochran, Todd. This one said, you sound like a simp boy. You sound like a simp boy. So should you not protect your so what I like to do when I read comments, especially when I get a few, I like to see how many people say the same thing or agree. So he say, so this person says, so should you not protect your assets? I put yes by praying and choosing the right partner to be your wife, right? Like I get trying to protect it. Like Shannon Sharp talked about in on the show. I signed a prenup, and he later on was talking about like what that looked like. I'm coming, and I'm worth 3 million for an example, and you worth 100,000, and we divorce, and you take half of it, and I get that. That's a real concern, but that has to do with who you pick. And guess what? You never gonna be able to say you never gonna know what's going on anyway. You never know what's gonna happen, right? But when you put this little, oh, when we break up, this XYZ is gonna go to you, and this XYZ is gonna go to you, and this. That to me just sounds way, 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 way too transactional for me. Way too transactional for me. Man, that sounds way too transactional for me. If I gotta think that hard and put all that and put and get a hire a lawyer to chalk up this and all this, I ain't. I'm nah, nah. Let's just stay friends. I mean, at the end of the day, what do you get? What's the point of getting married and signing a paper saying I'm married if I'm not going to trust you with what I have and you're not going to trust me with what you have? Why not just stay friends? You can sign an agreement saying, "Hey, we are friends with benefits. I agree to pay her $100,000 a." You can do that, but what's the point of getting married and putting in if we break? Like you don't have to get married to put in an agreement of how you gonna split resources if you break up. You don't got to get married to do that. Just put an agreement together, get it notarized, be like, "Hey, this look good. This look good. Okay, bet." What you got to get married for? That's all I'm saying. This dude is not understanding that marriage is fair, fair, and divorce is not fair. I responded, it's uh, not about being fair. Uh, it's not about being fair. It's about loving one another so much that you can't hurt them without hurting yourself. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not sitting up here and about to sit up here and act like you're not gonna get hurt or somebody not gonna hurt, whatever it is. But that's what marriage is for me. That's what marriage is for me. I don't know what it is for y'all, but that's what it is for me. That's what it is for me. Marriage ain't supposed to be just like dating. I mean, y'all talking like marriage is just like girlfriend, boyfriend. Why y'all getting married? I feel like I think I'm in Texas. I believe there's a law in Texas where if you shacking together for a certain amount of time, you consider legally married. You ain't got to go to no courthouse. Why y'all gotta be married? Why y'all gotta sign a prenup? Why y'all getting married? For what? It's about love, So find somebody where you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to. You can go to sleep at night without that prenup and still know she gonna do right by you. You gonna do right by her. First, Ocho, the one who didn't want a prenup. Second, every marriage has a prenup. Either you make one or the court makes one for you in the end. The prenup is just an agreement between the two parties to make leaving less of an incentive. You are ignorant to what a prenup is actually for. Stop regurgitating dumb talking points. Okay. I'm responding to him asking, so why? So who benefits in a marriage? JT about to join. Hey, I know you probably. Hey, JT, I'm gonna let you in here in a minute. To ask that question. You know what? Let me go ahead and let this man. Let me go ahead and let this thing in right now. Let me let you in right now. Hey, what's good, nigga? Hey, let me let you in right now. Hey, can you see my
What's up?
screen?
Shit, I can. I'm squinting, but yeah, I can see that shit.
Put the goggles on, nigga. Put the goggles
Man,
on.
I
Hey,
need my
look.
glasses, man. Yeah.
Hey, look. Let me let. So I'm throwing you into this conversation that I was already having, but we gonna wrap it up here in a minute. What you think? What's your thoughts on prenups? I know we ain't got that kind of money to really care about stuff like that, right? But
Uh, I
what's your
mean,
what's your thoughts?
from past situations, I mean, I think it's a good thing.
Okay, Ocho Cinco says the same. I believe. I don't know if Ocho says the same or not, but I know Shannon Sharp is a believer of prenups, right?
Yeah,
He's a believer of prenups. He basically says if if we come into this and I got 3 million and you got 100,000 and we break up, you get a half a mil. That don't seem right to me. That's what he's saying.
yeah,
So I posted something that was basically saying I think, right? I believe that you should be picking somebody to marry who you trust not gonna hurt you, you're
oh
not gonna
yeah,
hurt them, right? Like if I hurt you, it's gonna hurt me just as much, right? So you need to pick one of them type of relationships. So you ain't.
yeah,
So that's my whole thing. And so I'm reading comments. And and I was reading some of my responses. This is kind of what I've been doing. I just been reading responses and comments and shit like that. So this one says, first Ocho, the one who didn't want a prenup. Then he said every marriage has a prenup. Blah 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 blah. I said I'm responding to him asking, so who benefits in a marriage? So what I'm saying is when he asks who benefits in a marriage, I think he making it the marriage is not. I feel like what's the point of getting married when you
yeah,
start
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about who benefits in a marriage?
But in divorces, definitely depending on what state you're in and the way things are split, a lot of states do favor women and stuff like that. So I can see from why people do want, like prenups and stuff like that, because a lot of stuff is not beneficial to the man in a lot of situations, and especially, I mean, you talking about celebrities, you talking
Right.
about like Ocho and Shannon Sharp with all this money and stuff like that. I mean, 9 times out of 10, just being honest, the woman they with is probably not working. She probably not, necessarily doing. Now, that's not every case, but what I mean, that's probably why they're seeing it from that side. So, I mean,
Could
it's a
be.
little different, man, when you got that, you got millions.
Nah, look, I didn't even get to this comment, but somebody said you're dumb. It's called protecting yourself. Women have the upper hand and will divorce you in a heartbeat. Look up some statistics, kid. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm not saying I feel like there's women who get married to rich dudes knowing or get married
Exactly.
to dudes who
Yeah.
they know gonna get rich. But
Yeah.
who's telling y'all to get married? That's
Um,
all I'm saying.
it is.
Like if you
But I agree with the it's protecting yourself. I think that's a good line. I would say.
Mhm.
I mean, but it's in a situation. I mean, honestly, if vice versa, if the woman got money, I mean, it's she protecting herself, so it can work vice versa. So, I mean, uh,
Man. Look, what's good, man? I know we
what's
got
up,
about an
man?
hour of time to just talk.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no bears. Okay, you ain't got no bears stuff on. Okay, good. I'm
I mean,
glad you ain't
I
got no
got bear.
bears
The
shit.
bear
Y'all didn't
stuff is
prep.
always it's
Oh,
always near. We
so
just
let's
going through
talk
a
about
rough,
the bears,
a
man,
rough.
because
Oh,
y'all
you want to talk about the
actually
bears? You gonna get me
y'all
started?
relevant, but you know why y'all relevant, right?
We
Because of Caleb
relevant.
Williams. So let's just talk about Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Let's talk about your quarterback. Let's talk about your first of all, man, don't come on this damn thing talking about some we feel good about the future because he's a young quarterback, man. But tell me how y'all feel as a Bears fan today. Just sum it all up for me.
Uh, I mean, I feel good in what Caleb can do, what he's shown. He's led us down on multiple drives. Game on the line. We need to get some points. he's always putting it in position. I think before he's trying not to make any mistakes, but by not making mistakes, it's causing him not to do what he needs to do out on the field. But coaching is horrible, man. So if we really want to get into it, since I'm gonna go ahead and get started, man. So that last game against these Packers, that Dallas Cowboy Cup, sorry ass Cowboys. Anyway, that
Go
last
ahead, bro.
game
Go
against
ahead.
these
Go
Packers,
ahead.
the last game against these Packers, we had the ball. Caleb drove down the field, like I said, once again,
He
flawless
had his
drive,
one
got us
his
down
one
there.
good drive, huh?
Nah, he had multiple drives. Caleb, he no interceptions, no nothing. 200 something. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he moved the ball perfectly. Now, when we get down there, we have 30 seconds left on the clock.
Uh-huh.
Instead of trying to run the ball, get a little closer, do anything, the coach decides we just gonna stand there. Just stood on the field, let the clock run down, call the timeout, and just accepted the field goal. I got a problem with that. It's the coaching, man. I mean, Eberflus has had a worse record than every other coach they have fired so far. And they're still letting this man make it. Now, I'm pretty sure he probably, after the season, he's going to be gone, definitely. But, especially if they keep losing. But he might be gone before then. But it's definitely, the coaching is a problem. Caleb is a rookie. You can't put all that pressure on your
Whoa,
rookie
whoa, whoa,
quarterback,
whoa,
man.
whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. We
You
can't say
can't.
this whole Caleb is a rookie thing. We can't
He
say
is a
the whole.
rookie.
How good did you feel like the coaching was in Dallas when Dak Prescott won all those games? Did you feel like Jason Garrett was a good coach? Be real
I
now.
think I think honestly, if you want to compare, when Dak was winning, whatever, y'all had a better offensive line. Our offensive line is trash. So look, no. I'm being honest. During the time when he was winning those games, y'all had a good offensive line. Y'all defense was playing 10 times better. Jason Garrett, to me, wasn't a bad coach. I don't think he was a bad coach. Uh, I think y'all just as a team with Dak make mistakes. I think the thing Caleb is not doing is what Dak does do, which is take chances. Now, within that, it's a thin line with that taking the chances. Every quarterback that is good takes chances. Pat Mahomes is a perfect example. Everything he does is taking chances, but he throws a lot of picks.
But
He
this is the
turns
thing, though. This is the thing. Who is the more talented thrower of the football? Even in college, you can tell. Who was the more talented thrower?
between Dak and Caleb.
Yes.
Honestly, I was never on board with the Caleb train, so I didn't really watch Caleb in college like that. But he looked
Okay.
good in college.
They was comparing him to Patrick Mahomes throwing the football. Even when you
No,
watch him throw the football, even when you watch him throw, Dak is more of a. It look like he learned how to throw. Like he don't. It don't come naturally. Like he don't have all these different arm angles. So Caleb is supposed to be the guy who, when he got into the NFL, he should be able to make every throw. He should be able to make every throw. But yet he still looks like he doesn't know how to read defenses.
I don't think he has the time to read defenses. Our line is trash. Trash. We just got rid of one of our main offensive linemen because he was so toxic in the locker room. Our line is trash. The Bears linemen have been trash. I mean, you have to block for this, man. You have a rookie quarterback out there. You put a line, no good lineman, and a rookie quarterback. Bad play calling, bad head coach. You cannot put
Oh,
that on that rookie quarterback to come in there and change all that. We
so the
got the
Bears fans,
weapons.
so Bears fans sound like Dallas Cowboy fans, basically. They got bad coaching. Well,
No,
except Bears fans say, Cowboy
put
fans
it
say we
like
got
this:
bad ownership too.
if we had Mike McCarthy, I think our record would be a lot better right now.
Oh, you will be you stop it. You're
No, I
four and
don't.
six right now. You may be 5-5, but that's pushing it. And I'm saying
No,
you
I
actually,
don't agree.
I'm not even lying. I said that real quick, but when I think about it, y'all ain't gonna lie. You probably would be more like you probably would have less wins. Mike
Less
McCarthy is
wins,
not a good. He's not a good coach for.
man. If you think Eberflus says, then hey,
I'm not
y'all can
saying
have
that either.
Eberflus and
I'm
let
not
you
saying
know
that either. We on my sorry Cowboys are on a 5-game losing streak. Y'all on a 4-game losing streak. We 3-7. Y'all 4-6. You
But
know
look at
what's
how we
funny?
lost our games, though.
We still
We
gonna
ain't getting
win more
blown out
games
like
than
them
y'all.
Cowboys now. Relax.
We
It's,
still
it's the
gonna win
difference.
more games than y'all. We still gonna win more games than
Y'all
y'all.
getting blown out 30 something to 6. We
That don't
losing
matter
with
though. We ain't got our
blocked
starting
field
quarterback.
goals, Hail Mary passes. Come
Our
on,
backup
man.
is better than your starter.
That's a lie.
So tell me this:
Matter of fact,
when
y'all
you was
backup is
watching
better
Cooper,
than
hold
y'all
on.
starter.
When you was watching Cooper Rush, tell me he didn't make some passes. You was like, damn, our quarterback don't make them passes.
Y'all, first of all,
Just
Caleb,
be real.
that's not true because Caleb has glimpses of, like I said, that you could tell it will take some time. He didn't come in here where I don't think he was set up with the best coaching. Honestly, I think
Okay.
that's what it was. And the
No, you
Bears,
know what?
when they first brought him in, they had the option to keep a seasoned backup quarterback, and they decided to let him go.
Yeah.
Caleb has no mentorship, no nothing. I mean, even with a situation like Penix going to the Falcons and stuff with Cousins, it may look like a bad thing, but at least he has Cousins to learn from. I think that's even with Mahomes when he came in, they had I can't even think of the dude, Alex Smith and all that. Like they had players on the teams that could at least kind of help. Caleb had nobody and bad coaching. Nah, man, I'm not. I'm not putting it on
Man,
that.
look
I
here.
think we
First,
have horrible coaching decisions. We have
fair.
bad we
Okay.
have bad ownership as well. Just like you want
Oh
to say the
Lord.
Cowboys have. It all went downhill since
No,
Lovey.
every time a player lead the Cowboys, they go to another team, start talking about how good it's run and how they take football seriously. That's been going on for years. Every time somebody leave, they go back talking about how good the culture is, and they don't have to deal with tours and shit. Look, man, I don't want to talk about the Cowboys. Hey, excuse me, Mike Tyson, fool. This fight,
Uh-huh.
you watched it though, right?
Yes. Every
Okay, because
moment.
I couldn't watch it, so I really just ended up watching the preview, the highlights, and the highlights told me not to go watch the fight.
Nah, you didn't miss
so
nothing. You
so
didn't miss nothing.
what was your initial kind of thoughts of it though? Like when it was going on, what was you thinking?
I mean, first of all, when Tyson came out and he tripped on his entrance, he had the knee brace on.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he tripped when he walked out there. That was already a bad sign. The knee brace was a second bad sign. The first round he came out, he looked like he had energy, Whatever people want to say, it might set up whatever, but it did look like at the same time maybe he's holding back a little bit, but I do think he's tired. He was tired, his legs was shaky.
Right.
And Jake, I mean, this man is younger. Jake Paul is way younger. And it showed. I want to say that really showed. Yeah, all this I seen him in his little, I guess, sparring matches. He wasn't moving
No,
like that at all.
well. Actually, let me stop sharing this. This is different. Let me go. This is. I'm gonna get to that later. I'm gonna get to that later. But
Okay.
so okay, so you said so when he came out, you knew initially Tyson looked old. So you saying Tyson? Do
He
you
looked
feel
old for
like
sure.
Tyson? You feel like Tyson was giving it his all?
Nah, I mean, I think he was giving it his all, but I think within they contract, it wasn't supposed to be no knockouts. Put it that way. So I think he was legitimately tired. He was legitimately working, but I don't think he was legitimately trying to knock him out either.
What would happen if they would have? Because they didn't release the contract details before the fight, did they?
I mean, not that I know of,
It felt
but
like
you have to think
everybody
of
started talking about that after. You only heard stuff about the size of the gloves and stuff, but I didn't hear nobody say
yeah, I
you
didn't hear it
could not.
before.
I ain't hear
But I
nobody
mean,
say all that.
it's not a win. If Jake Paul knocks Tyson out, that's not a win for Jake Paul. If Tyson knocks out Jake Paul, that's not a win for Jake Paul. And Jake Paul got all the money.
I knew that, but nobody said like I was reading stuff talking about that he couldn't really hit him into the fourth. It was some weird shit that was going on. Like
Yeah,
they didn't say none of that before the fight, nigga. They weren't
yeah,
saying that. They was basically saying, "Hey, this fight isn't rigged," but it was like a wrestling match. It was
yeah.
playing like it was almost playing like this is going to happen. Jake Paul is going to win, and like come
Because they
on,
because they wanted that money. If they would have told you all that beforehand, if all those type of details would have came out, they would have lost views.
that's what I'm
I
saying. I was
mean,
like, I don't
yeah,
remember seeing that.
yeah.
I don't
Nah,
remember
they knew what
seeing
they were
that.
doing. It was a money grab. It was a money grab.
You
They
know
got their
what?
money.
You think that's not gonna be the last fight on Netflix, is it? Huh? No matter what no matter the glitches, that was the
Nah,
test fight right there.
nah. Yeah, they gonna keep that up. They got the football games too, and wrestling WWE it moves to Netflix next year. So now
Ooh,
Netflix is really trying to take over that.
WrestleMania may hit some numbers.
Oh yeah, no,
WrestleMania may hit. They definitely ain't ready for Super Bowl. Well, you know what? I think they were saying that audience they had though was probably like Super Bowl numbers. I think for that Tyson. Like
Yeah,
they really had a lot of
they,
people.
no,
It
they
was a lot
did.
of motherfuckers watching. It was a
Yeah,
lot of motherfuckers watching.
it was a
It
lot
was
of.
a lot of people
Hey,
watching. So that's probably why they was buffering.
oh, for
Because if
sure,
you think
for
about
sure.
it, Netflix never had buffering issues, nigga.
No, not that I can remember, at least.
They never
No,
did.
they
Hey,
had a lot
so
of
let's
people
talk
on this
about.
shit.
So Jake Paul, do you feel like Jake
Mhm.
Paul? Do you feel like Jake Paul can really box? Like, can he box a actual boxer that's boxing
Okay,
today?
I think an actual boxer, no, but I think he
Okay,
can box. But I think if he goes against an actual boxer who do this like real, for real, nah, he gonna lose.
okay.
And I think
So
he
let's not
did
even
go up
talk
against a
about.
real boxer and he lost.
So let's not even talk about real boxing. Then let's just go to
Yeah,
somebody who's more on his skill level,
yeah,
probably,
yeah,
because he was basically a streamer turned boxer. Taught himself how
yeah,
to
yeah.
box. So this is one that's been trending. James Wilson. Apparently, I think I don't know what he does. Let me go to this page actually. James Wilson. I think he was a football player or something. Let me see. He was an athlete. Yeah, so he was an athlete. Professional heavyweight boxer, kickboxer, mixed martial art. Okay, okay. So apparently he challenged Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He challenged. He said, "Let's make this fight happen." And this is some of his sparring. This you thought was Tyson. This how Tyson. You know what's funny? This
That's how
how
Tyson was
Tyson
looking
was
though.
looking.
That's how he was looking. And he got out there looking way different. But nah, so this dude was he's a what?
He's a professional boxer. It look like he do kickboxing and
Mm.
everything. I think he
Jake
bigger than
Paul
he may be
probably not gonna
bigger
fight
than
that dude though.
he ain't gonna fight him.
I,
Huh?
I heard a lot of the people that I don't know how true. I don't do all that looking into it, but I heard a lot of people that Jake Paul did beat were like ex MMA people, like not
They
real
weren't real
boxers.
boxers, fool.
Yeah, so
Nah,
I don't think he's gonna he don't want it with no real boxer.
but his
No,
money gonna
I
be
don't
up
think.
there because people would pay for this, right? Like
Oh,
they gonna
people
pay
because
for
people gonna
this.
want to see him get knocked out.
He's
That's why
a
they gonna pay for it.
professional heavyweight boxer, kickboxer, so he
He is
has
an
some
MMA.
experience. I don't know who this
Yeah,
dude is, right? But look out, he big as hell and he got experience. So guess what? People gonna give you credit now. If you beat him, let's
yeah.
say he don't even win though. That's the thing. Jake Paul don't have to beat him though. He can just go
Nah, he
all
don't.
rounds. Hey, compete. We're gonna be like, okay, Jake Paul earned something. That's all we like. To me, I haven't. He ain't gained my respect yet because to me, he ain't fought nobody.
Yeah, yeah. He ain't
He ain't
fought
fought
nobody for sure.
nobody. He ain't fought
But
like I feel like if
he
Kim,
don't want them fight.
like Kimbo Slice would have, hey,
It's like Kimbo.
Kimbo Slice would have ate it.
Hey,
Man, he wouldn't even made it. He would have never
nah, he
made it.
want. Hey, I don't. He don't want that, man. That Jake Paul ain't no real boxer, man. But if he gon' the thing about it is, I think he is chasing that bag. But because of what just happened with Tyson, any fight that he does is gonna get money. People gonna say stuff like, "Oh man, we ain't watching this again because of what happened." They gonna watch it. They gonna watch it because they want to see him get knocked out. That's what it is.
Well, are they gonna pay and watch it, or are they gonna get it for free? See, Netflix was
Yeah,
smart. That's why I say Netflix was
that
smart. This is why I say
yeah,
Netflix was smart. Netflix ain't stupid, nigga. The
yeah,
Jake Paul, them Paul brother fights, everybody knew that shit was like niggas ain't about to keep paying for that shit. We not about to keep paying for y'all if y'all ain't fighting nobody. So they was like, okay, we not gonna get the first fight. Not gonna be no bum. Like it ain't gonna be like who they been fighting before. We gonna get a name, but we definitely gonna have people show up because it's Netflix and they already got subscriptions.
yeah,
And it don't cost nothing to get a subscription.
yeah.
It ain't nothing but a ham and
Oh yeah,
cheeseburger. So you good. You know,
yeah,
pay per view was what, $50, $60.
yeah. Nah, pay. Yeah,
Niggas
pay per
had to
view about
get together
$60.
and be
Yeah,
like, hey,
like a
hey,
hundred.
y'all want to watch
Shit,
the fight?
sometimes shit depending on who
Hey,
fight. Yeah,
niggas was sending the text, hey, y'all want to watch the fight? Hell yeah, we want to watch the fight.
fight
Okay,
parties.
bet. Send
Hey,
me $5.
hey, you had to pay money to get into the fight party, man. Hey,
Hey, send me
nah,
$10.
hey,
You asked me if I want to watch the fight. What you mean?
nah. It is a smart decision though. They to make that bread though. But
Man,
Netflix gonna
it's
start trying to take over them live events though.
what you say?
I
No
mean,
Netflix.
yeah, they gonna take over them live events. I
Man,
was
they better
even
get.
well, like kind of not really switching subjects, but kind of with the. I don't know if you ever watched on like Twitch. They show the football games. It's like live, like you actually watch the football game, but only on Thursdays, like Amazon Prime. And I even think that's a really good idea. So I really think like these streaming networks are really gonna start
Yeah,
taking over these sporting
it's
events.
just getting
So,
started, right? And this
yeah.
it's a bunch of things that's about like Roku wasn't was Roku around nigga like 5-10 years ago? Like some of this shit is getting
It was around, but it's not like it is now.
yeah, like some of this shit is new. And
Yeah,
there's
new.
streaming services out there that we haven't even heard yet, but people already got 50,000 people, 100,000
Oh yeah,
people. You know what I'm saying? So they keep
because they come
growing
in with them
because
cheap prices,
e-
and then they raise it up
exactly.
on you.
Exactly. Hey, your boy Drake. Let's go
Don't
ahead
get
and
me
talk
started,
about
man.
it. Let's go
Oh,
ahead and
you
talk about it. A lot of people. I'm just saying what a lot of people say. Hold
the
on.
the
Let me
ten
share. Let me play
followers,
something.
yeah,
Let me play something.
the
Let me
ten
play something.
followers. What did they say?
Let me play something. Let me play something. I don't want to hear. I don't want to say what
Bring
I
on the
see.
hate. Bring on the Drake hate. Come on.
Since everybody hating like Drake is a cowboy, like he a Dallas Cowboy, like he get all the hate.
I think it's
Can you hear
changed.
this?
What and the
Yeah, I can hear it.
battle, what I just saw is probably what is hit the nail on the head for me, where it's like when stuff gets said like that now today, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something
There was
about
a lot of lying on it. There was a lot of lying. People just saying
there was one
shit. They was just
K
saying
dot,
shit.
there was one K dot diss track that came out, and I was like, oh, this is over. Like this isn't rap. This isn't a rap. This ain't clashing anymore.
No, they don't like each other.
This is over. Like they don't like each other. It's clear. I can hear it. Like I can hear it in his voice. He doesn't like Drake when it sounded like you two just really want to see each other and do each other something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like that would hit him up. And I even said the same.
Okay. We ain't gonna play all 30 minutes. The caption. This is academics, of course. This nigga be. I ain't gonna lie. If you go to his Twitter, his nigga is like a reporter, nigga. He be on everything. He be knowing niggas court cases. He be reading documents and shit. But he said, Skepta explains to Ebro how Kendrick Lamar pushing those disgusting fake pedophile allegations about Drake did a lot of damage to the culture because it scared away big companies like Nike and other brands from working with rappers because of how vile Kendrick's lies were.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I told you this. I told you this. That's why Drake he stopped. Because Kendrick took it from it's not a rap battle anymore. It's not. You're not rapping. You on some whole other stuff. So why would I keep coming back? Nah, bro. Like I said, Kendrick made a hot song. He made a hot song. That's what he did. Drake revived, people out there love Kendrick. And like we in Houston, we in Texas, we in the South. So we probably hear different than somebody on the West Coast do. But I haven't heard from Kendrick. I haven't heard from Kendrick until Drake revived this man's career. Now, in my opinion, he revived this man's career. And I do think like it was a lot of people who Drake has been doing this, running these hit after hit for so long. You cannot sit here and all these people who be hating on Drake now, they want hating on Drake. Nobody, it's a trendy thing now to hate on this man. Cause I can guarantee you all the people that's talking shit and hating on him, they was all jamming his music. But now it's trendy because it is they not like us shit with Kendrick. So
Oh wait,
everybody
that time out.
jumping on
Hold
the
on,
bandwagon.
time out.
Yeah,
You with this all is trendy. When Michael Jackson was running the game and he was live and popping, was it trendy to talk shit about Michael Jackson?
Wasn't nothing trending back then. Cause it wasn't no trends back then with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That's what
Sure.
I'm saying.
Okay.
It's different now. The social media is a weapon. That's what it is.
So
And everybody just turned on Drake.
how much bigger is because ain't nobody beefing with Chris Brown. Who threw this out to Chris Brown?
He was beefing with like Quavo or something like that for a minute. I mean,
Yeah,
but
but
that shit got swept
it
under the
wasn't
rug.
like it.
Cause they ain't got no. I mean, Quavo don't have the name, in my opinion, to really go and really cause a ruckus with somebody like Chris Brown. Chris Brown too big of a name. You ain't gonna get that no way. People they come after the big stars.
I just think that when y'all start saying that Kendrick basically throwing low blows is what y'all saying is where it turned and that's where the beef had to end and all that. That's not beef. Like, what happened to Ice Cube? The No Vaseline. The title tells you he about to be on some shit.
Yo, but he on some shit where he talking shit direct. He not accusing this man of being no pedophile on no rap song.
He was saying
Come
a lot
on.
of shit though.
But it ain't that level. That's a whole different. Nah, that's taking it out
you
of.
saying that, but okay, y'all gotta be real. Okay, you gotta be
But
real.
if you have
gotta
no
be
facts to
real.
back something like that up.
You like this. You like Drake, nigga.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You gotta be real. You like Drake. Now, if Drake won this shit, if the overall viewpoint was Drake won, which I think you can agree the overall viewpoint was not Drake won, right?
I mean, to Kendrick fans.
Now you got to think really.
I like I said before. I don't think he lost. I just don't think he had the most catchy song. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to that.
So you think he won? Okay.
I'm not saying he won. I'm not saying he won, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that man lost.
Saying. So I think the fact that everybody, most people think that Kendrick won because it wasn't just they not like us. He had a couple better. I think y'all are making it an excuse because.
But is anybody listening to the other songs? Are they listening to that one song? Does anybody listen to the other song?
You don't like Euphoria?
I'm talking about no, I don't. But to this day, right now, is anybody listening to those songs, or are they only listening when they in the club and they cut off Drake music? Do they put on Euphoria? Hell no, they put on one fucking song, and that they not like us.
Well, you can't say that.
Nah,
you can't say that.
I see it
just
all over the
because that
internet.
was the hottest song.
DJ Mustard just did it.
See what you gotta give credit for with Kendrick. Not only was that a diss song, nigga, it hit the charts. It was a song like you could still play that song on the radio. You couldn't play Tupac's song. You couldn't play No Vaseline. They couldn't spin that shit on the radio. You could still play Kendrick's song on the radio. That was still a song that you could play for your kids.
Because he made a catchy song. He made the more catchy song. That's what I'm.
We still talking about music though, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's my thing. I'm saying I don't think he won the battle. I just think he made the more catchy song. That's all I think.
Okay, so give this man. So he won it, nigga. What you mean? Who was known for more? Hold on. Who was known for more catchier songs than before the rap beef?
It was Drake for sure.
Okay, then. So you ain't gonna give the nigga who wasn't even known for the catchier songs the credit to
I'm
say
not
he won the
into
beef?
this shit. I'm not. I'm
Boy,
not
I
giving.
tell you, boy,
I'm not giving him.
You Lil Wayne and Drake Nicki fans, boy.
Hey man.
Hey.
I've seen it from the startup, so no, I'm not. I don't buy. I ain't buying into it.
You seen it from the startup, but that was the last song.
Nah, he just made a catchy ass song. That's okay though, cause Drake he gonna come back. He gonna come back. And guess what? That motherfucking album, that seed song, whatever the fuck he dropped, watch that bitch gonna do some numbers out there.
When is he dropping, nigga? You said that before. When is he dropping?
Put it like this: you let Drake drop something right now and Kendrick drop something right now. I guarantee Drake double that nigga shit. Guaranteed.
When is he dropping, nigga?
I don't
Drake
know when it's gonna drop.
Did Drake just put 40 songs on the album like 6 months ago?
Man, that ain't no album, no new shit. He just throwing out some old shit just to remind you who he is. I am jamming it. Oh, I jam everything he dropped now.
Oh, don't. Why? Because so now you
it's on the floor right now.
So now you sympathetic.
I always gonna jam Drake.
So now you sympathetic.
I'm not sympathetic. I'm just saying.
I feel like Lil Wayne should have just go ahead and jumped in and threw his little jab in there.
He can't do it.
Why?
He can't let Lil Wayne come in there and basically fight his battles for him, nigga. He can't do that shit. He can't.
So tell me this, because you a big Drake fan. Mm-hmm. Some people would say Drake has a better overall. I think some people will say Drake may have a better catalog than Lil Wayne. Do you believe that? There's some people will
I
say
think
that.
he has a different catalog than Lil Wayne. I think Drake's catalog, if you talking pop music, radio music like that, yeah, Drake does. But if you
Okay.
talking about like just rap and just going off and wordplay and shit, nah. Because people don't consider his mixtapes. People talking about albums. Lil Wayne is a mixtape. He was back before all this album, iTunes and Apple Music shit, Spotify. So niggas ain't taking that in consideration. Some of Lil Wayne's best shit is not even on Apple or on Spotify. So niggas don't even know about it. So I mean, young people probably would say Drake.
Does Lil Wayne? I think Drake dropped how many songs in the beef? 3. I think Kendrick had 4.
Yeah, I want to say 3.
If
Yeah,
Lil Wayne drops
that.
3 songs or 3 to 4 songs against Kendrick, does Lil Wayne overall have 3 or 4 better songs than Kendrick?
We talking about Lil Wayne right now?
I'm talking about yes. I'm talking about
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Lil Wayne still know how to rap, don't he?
I think,
especially when we talk about Lil Wayne with a beef.
Same situation. No, same situation.
Yes.
I think Lil Wayne would kill Kendrick clearly on the wordplay. Lyrically, he'll blow him out the water.
Okay.
But I do think Kendrick could possibly make a more catchy song, just like he did with Drake.
You still think that
I do think that.
You giving that? I'll give you this. You giving that song a lot of credit. That's good. You're not that biased.
That's the only reason we talking right now that he won this battle. If he didn't drop that song, this whole thing would be different. Nigga, trust. It would. Now wait, can you sit here and say that that's not true? If he didn't drop, take that take that one out and put the rest of the songs versus what Drake dropped.
I think if he just drops his 3 songs and doesn't drop Not Like, let's say if you remove Not Like Us and it's 3 against 3, I would say it would probably be more of a even battle. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I guess
then it's gonna come down to the what?
You can say that.
And then everybody's gonna go back and they're gonna listen to the lyrics and say, "Oh, well, who had the better lyrics?" Guaranteed Drake wins that.
Don't disrespect.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Disrespect Kendrick. First of all, no Kendrick fan don't listen to lyrics, nigga. Why you go there?
I'm just saying.
Kendrick, nigga, I've heard people say. I think my brother said that Kendrick. I don't even know who. I've heard niggas say that Kendrick is 2. He 2. He talked too real in it. Like it's almost like it's not entertaining in a way sometimes. Because he talking
I like Kendrick when he first came out. Good Kid, Mad City. And I haven't been a big fan of Kendrick since. But like I said, that's a different type of vibe than I guess the music I'm on. I mean,
so do
Drake,
you think
Drake came to Houston and his vibe and his music is a Houston vibe. So I guess that's just me. But nah, I mean, okay, put it like this. Back in the day when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill, perfect example. I'll be honest. I always felt like Meek was killing Drake with them bars. I personally, and I'm a Drake fan, but I always felt like Meek was killing him when he rapped. But Drake dropped what? Back to back. When he dropped that catchy ass song, the battle was over. It didn't matter what Meek said after that. And I thought Meek was throwing some fucking bars at Drake. But once again, you drop that catchy ass song, hey, it's a wrap. It's who gonna drop that catchy ass song. Kendrick did it this time. That's all.
I don't know if it was just that song, but okay.
You ain't gonna give me the thing on that day. I'm telling you.
I don't even know if we should go here. What do you know about Bitcoin? Did you hear about the football player who
wants to get paid in Bitcoin?
He had his salary paid a few years ago, and everybody was talking shit, and now he's saying, and now everybody talking about how it's a hit now after Trump got president, and apparently his value went up and all that. You seen that?
I ain't see it, but I did see him talk about he wants to get paid in Bitcoin though.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I never.
First of all, did you know anything about Bitcoin? Because that's my whole thing.
I downloaded it and I put some money into it. I think I still got some money.
You downloaded what, nigga? What the fuck?
The Bitcoin, the app, the investment app.
It's a Bitcoin app.
I put some money into it. Yeah, it's called like crypto, something with a Coinbase. Coinbase, that's what it's called.
Nigga, you can't even explain it. That's my.
No, I mean, It was a while back when that shit like first hit. When that shit first hit, I did. I downloaded Coinbase and put some money into it.
Matter of fact, let me go here. Let me do this. I think I made a video. Let me see. I think I made a video about this because. So look, this is my whole thing. And he posted his little comment or whatever. He basically saying that society wants to tame you, wants you predictable, but greatness demands why. Okay. So he's basically saying, look, a lot of people talk shit. Look what happened. My whole thing is, and I made a video, I just don't understand it. I've looked up videos, nigga, and I still walk away from the video, be like, I still don't understand what the fuck Bitcoin is, nigga. Like, all I be seeing is niggas with these charts, with these lines, with these graphs. What is it?
I mean, all I know, I guess it's like a digital currency. I mean, as far as I know, because I know the worth, the value of the American dollar is not what it used to be. Which is, I guess, the reason why people try this Bitcoin thing. But like I said, I invested my little thing in a Coinbase. That's all I know. I mean, I don't I can't sit here and say because I never was one of those people.
Coinbase. I think I did that shit.
Hey, Coinbase.
I think I did that about 4 or 5 years ago because it was buzzing. Yeah. I don't think I knew.
Yeah, it was buzzing. It was the thing to do. And
I probably still got some money in that motherfucker, to be honest with
you. I know I do. I just let it sit there though. I ain't even messing with it. But maybe I need to check it. Shit, who knows? If his salary went up, hey, maybe my little money might have changed a little.
Your $50 turned into 100.
Hey, you already know. You ain't gonna put too much now.
You get on Prize Picks. You get on Prize Picks and bet $5 to get 10.
Hey, that's all right. And then put that 5 right back. Try to turn it to 20. Hey, yeah.
I just don't. So I just don't. I don't be getting it, fool. I don't be getting it. Yeah. If you had a patience, all the.
Who he pay for, the Panthers?
He played for. I think. Oh wait. No, I guess he is a Panthers.
It looks like a Panther jersey. Yeah, it looks like a Panther jersey.
He may still pay for the Panthers, but this post he posted, this was 2020 right here. Whatever this is.
He might not even be in the league no more. Fucking around with the Panthers.
I know, right? Yeah, this is when he did the contract. That was in 2016. And remember, that was when COVID was going on too.
Yeah.
That was around
COVID. That's
value of
that dollar.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's probably why he wanted to do it. I mean, but like it turned him, let's say, to 45 mil. Shit.
That's a big, I guess. I just.
But I don't. But see, here's my thing is I don't get how you get. Like, okay, say like for example, on the Coinbase app, you invest the money, but do you really have 45 million? Or you have 45 million in what, US dollars, or you got 45 million in Bitcoin? That's what I don't.
If he got him, I guarantee you, if Russell Okung got on this camera right now, he wouldn't be able to tell you. That's what I said. Like, the world, like a lot of people, broke people want to invest. Nigga, it be niggas that don't got no money want to bet and invest this shit. Yeah. So ain't nobody trying to, like, they be acting like people want to just go on a trend and say I'm against shit. Nobody trying. I've listened to presentations. I'll be like, what the fuck is what is this? I still don't be knowing it. I'm not a dumb nigga. So either you telling me I'm dumb, but I be asking the same thing. Like, what? Okay, can I spend this money? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't.
How do I spend it? I ain't never went to a restaurant.
Some people who accept it. There's people that do.
So you go out to eat and purchase in crypto?
No. I don't think no restaurant like that, but I've seen some online websites that will. Some people
buy business in crypto. I guess you could probably buy a business in crypto. I don't know.
You might be able to. I guess depending on who's selling. I don't think no bank gonna sit there and ain't gonna take no crypto. But
it's kind of like the whole content creation and the social media, and people be saying they making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day and shit like that. It'd be like, it shit don't be sounding believable sometimes. That's all I be saying. It don't be sounding believable sometimes. Hey, the election.
Mm-hmm.
The election. Did you vote? I mean, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I voted.
You a Trump supporter? Yeah.
Early voted. I'm not a Trump supporter.
I gotta ask for a lot of black people, a lot of black people voted for Trump. Black men was getting blamed a lot.
Nah, they actually released the the race statistics. And it was a lot of black people who a lot of black men. Let me put it that way.
I was about to say a lot of black
did it.
women voted. I don't know about black men,
But they voted strictly for not Trump. Put it that way. So, but nah, man. I will say something though. I didn't vote for Trump, but it's just funny because I don't know. I guess a lot of the stuff that he wants to do is starting to surface more. I guess, and I'm not gonna say it's a good thing, but there is one thing that I did say. I didn't know that this was his plan. I guess, but the thing with the education system, I didn't. Now, when they first came out with it, and they were just like, "Oh, Trump wants to, take away the education system or whatever." I didn't know I guess his plan was to take the money from Washington and give it back to the states for the education. I didn't know that, but I actually like that. I will say. Now, I do think politics is built for division. It's built to divide the fuck out of people, and I don't know. Like, hey, I mean, it's been crazy out here since then. Been a lot of
in what way?
a lot of hate going on in this world. It's funny though. It's funny, man. Like I'm like when they went into it, I already I felt like he was gonna win. I remember I think I told you I felt like he was gonna win. Uh, just because I think the way that they handed the election off was not right. I mean, for Joe when he stepped out of that and at that moment, and they didn't even give her a full race to actually run. I think it was already like it was too late, man. Like the way it happened, it wasn't gonna happen because people already had their mind made up on two people, on Joe and Donald Trump, and I think it definitely threw things off. And I think it was from there. It was kind of like a downfall. It was definitely a downfall, and a lot of men, I would say, a lot of men, they had this stigma about a woman president, and I really feel like it showed in a lot of ways too. So I think the odds were stacked against. I mean, I feel like didn't last time Donald Trump ran, he ran against Hillary Clinton, didn't he?
Not the last election. Last election he ran against Biden. The first election
Well,
he
no,
ran.
yeah, the first, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
and
I honestly, I think that's more about why he won. I don't think first of
no,
all, if you remember, people was going at Hillary because she was a woman.
yeah,
They were going harder
yeah.
at Hillary because she was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
What made us think that America was ready for a black woman?
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say that because I'm saying like men didn't already want a woman, but now you put a black woman. I mean, like I said, the odds were definitely stacked against, like without a doubt, without a doubt. So, but hey, man, we
So
gonna
what?
get
Okay,
this.
so what does the department? And I don't know if you know this. I can look it up. What does the Department of
Mhm.
Education do? He wants to eliminate the Department of Education. Why? What is
Yeah.
their important? What do they do?
I guess the funding, was coming through Washington D.C. Like they had, the main who decides how they distribute the funds to the states and what they do with the funds and how they fund the schools and within the states and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing from what I'm at least, like I said, I'm not alone diversed into this, but uh, I guess back in the day it wasn't that way, but it has changed to where it now runs through Washington D.C. And he wants to defund it from Washington D.C. and put the money back into the states, so the states decide where the money goes in the schools and how it's distributed. Basically, it's going to should put more money, I should say, back into the schools. It should put more money back into the schools because you weren't really knowing where those dollars were going when they go to Washington. That's kind of what people. That's the thing. Like they could have been
So
using
tell
it on something else.
so tell me this: we have
Mm-hmm.
that going on.
Mm-hmm.
We already know this country is led by well, the majority of the people think or will basically support Republican views and
That
what
is
they
true.
want. Uh, we know that Republicans want to get rid of a lot of stuff in education related to like slavery and stuff like that. So if you give the states that power,
Mhm.
why is that a good thing? How do we know that that cannot be? Why? How do we know they're not going to
Now
turn that and be like, okay, let's remove all black, let's remove all this negative history about white America, or let's remove
that
any.
well,
Yeah,
see, you don't have all states. Not all states are Republican states. Now, I was in a state like Texas. There's a possibility some shit like that can happen. I mean, my Corey in school, I actually asked him what do they teach
mm.
about, slavery and stuff like that. They don't really teach about it. They touch on, of course, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, stuff like that, but they don't
No movies
they
or
don't
nothing.
go into depth of like what slavery was, what it was about, what happened. They don't do that. They gloss over it, so to speak. So
You
they
don't think they
already
watch
kind
no
of
film, no movies or nothing? 'Cause we used to watch
no,
a
they
lot of
don't.
movies, but no. Okay,
No, no, they don't do none of that. But then again, look where, the schools that they go to as well. So I mean, saying if you're maybe in, HISD, it depends on where you are, I think as well too. Uh but I did ask and yeah, they don't do that. So I do think maybe it depends on your state, it depends on where you're at because you get a state that is predominantly maybe a blacker state or, not a Republican state or whatever the case may be. They could be using those funds where it could be different, where they could be teaching more of that or pushing more of that into the schools. But that's part of your state, and that's why I always do feel like fuck the president election. That's always my view. My view is always my state, my governor, you know, my my Senate, stuff like that. Like the people who control more within here, because I think if you get, let's say the same situation happens where okay, they defund the Washington and they put the money into the states, but you have somebody, your governor who's running your state or whatever the case may be, who wants to push more of that. Let's teach the kids about this or like that. Well, now that governor is in control of that, or whatever is in control of pushing that to these schools and making sure it's taught. So it's vice versa. I mean, yeah, you may be in a state where it does go away, but then you may be in a state where it is pushed more because now that you have more power of that or more control of that. So that's why I always say selecting local officials is huge. That's why my biggest blow was electing Ted Cruz as back up in this motherfucker. I think that was that hurt me more than
but
anything.
so and you said something interesting. First of all, you said you didn't vote for Trump, but you said that you kind of like some things that he did. For an
Yeah.
example, the eliminating Department of Education, right? We gotta believe that there was people who voted for Trump because of that, right? Like we just gotta believe
Oh, for
that,
sure.
right? So that's the
Yeah.
reality. People voted for him because of that. So we can't skip past, but the importance of that. So the
Hmm.
reason why the government felt like this was something that we need to control with the
Yeah.
Department of Education is because, well, if we put this in the hands of the states, Texas may say, you know what? Everybody born in 2005 and above and after, they don't need to know about this little slavery thing.
But they was already doing it though. That's the thing.
But why? But like you said, they were trying to do it and they were getting away with it. Like you said, they were trying to get away with it, but they're gonna get
Yeah.
away with it now, especially if
Oh
you
yeah.
eliminate the whole Department of Education.
Yeah. I mean,
That's not scary
they
to
will.
think that. Like
But
that's scary to think that.
no, I don't. I agree, but I don't agree because in a situation like with Corey, like I'm saying, like I asked him. Well, now that I know that they don't, you know what we talked about the whole time? Slavery. I went and told him. So put it like this: I'm not. I think we put a lot on teachers, educators, whatever the system, whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of it does come back to where you have to own some of that shit yourself. I mean, back in the day when And you can go long and deep on it. But back in the day when slavery was really a thing, do you think like they weren't teaching these kids? Like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't want these kids to know this. They didn't want to teach kids stuff in these schools and these segregated schools and stuff. No, it was up to these parents. They taught them what to do, how to do it, and
But that's because they
they.
were living in it, though. They
But
JT, they was.
I'm still saying, even when their kids grow up and say they got out of slavery, do you really think when those schools went in that they were still telling them kids about that? Like back then, it was probably forced in eventually, but they didn't want to tell them kids about that or really let them kids know when those schools got combined and you actually got segregated schools and all this stuff. Like they didn't want them to know that they wanted in that school where you probably got like one black kid and all these other white kids. They weren't in there preaching no slavery. Now,
The reason why is because it was too inside of, it was too a part of their life. My
well, yeah,
grandfather, right? Like my dad probably was a slave. Like that's what you got to understand at that time. But if you remove it out of the school, if it's no longer in the school by 2030, it's no longer in the school. Like nobody's gonna know about it. So now you're gonna have, now here's my question. And I don't know the answer to this. If it's gone and now all of a sudden nobody really has knowledge of this except maybe a percent of the world, is
yeah.
that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Two
If
sides of the coin.
98% of the
I'm I'm
world
I'm, I'm
does
look.
not know slavery ever existed.
I'm being honest. I think two sides of the coin to say to where I think it's a bad thing because history repeats itself. So in that sense, yes, I think it is a bad thing. But in the day and the age that we're in now, I think a lot of the racism is taught from older people. A lot of it. I
Right.
think part of the reason why white people are so, I don't even want to say it like that, but the reason why a
Yep.
certain race pushes their they want to try to push their dominance or try to gain their dominance or gain the house basically, so to speak, is because they see that minorities, if you want to call it that way, are getting more traction. Where nowadays you have a lot of white kids who want to be black. You have a lot of white kids that want to be black. A lot of white kids that want to act black. They they worship black people. They worship people like Drake, people like Kendrick, people people like Wayne. They worship this. And these older white people, you really think they're okay with that? They don't want that. So I'll say, like I said, two sides of the coin. Where yes, history repeats itself, but at the same time, you have these younger kids who growing up who, you know, let's say you take their older relatives, their racist relative out the picture. They're growing up where to them, black people are these rappers, these billionaires, these flashy guys, all this money. Well, I want to be like him. I want to be like him. So that same kid whose dad might be on Congress right now, he's growing up watching all this. He's watching Wayne and Kendrick on TV, like, ooh, I want to be like them. So when he gets into Congress, like I said, take away the racism that maybe he was taught when he grew up or something. He's gonna have a different view of minorities or black people. I mean, that's like I said, that's devil's advocate of the situation, but I don't think it's a good thing. No, but I do see that side of it, and I've always saw that side of it. But like I said, if you don't know your history, you repeat your history, and that's a true fact.
That's the scary part, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
So knowing that, why and you're not a supporter of it, of course, but I'm just saying, like, do people not understand that? Like,
No.
and that's why people who are not for Trump, that's why people who are not for people who think like that. And Trump is you got to understand, there's been many Republicans who think like Trump, but they're not like him. Right? Like he's crazy with it, right? Like
Yeah,
he goes a different way to the point where he's giving people confidence with
yeah,
these views that he got. Like he's giving hate now. Like He's not. I don't remember George Bush. Remember, like black people didn't really fuck with George Bush like that. Remember that our
Not at
parents didn't
all.
really fuck with
Not
George
at
Bush.
all.
But I don't remember none of this shit about like Trump though. It was a whole different vibe. Why
But
is
that
that?
and that's the side that I would not vote for Trump or ever vote for Trump is because of stuff like that. Because there's like when you're a leader, especially like America to me is nowadays is followers. Like there's a bunch of followers, and that's why I'm gonna go back to the Kendrick thing too. But they're a bunch of followers. Like people follow. People look for somebody to follow. Like they want that. That's why you have followers on Instagram and followers on all these social media because people want to be a follower. And Trump is to these people like you see somebody like that, he gets people riled up. And when you have somebody who gets people riled up around topics like hatred or like making people not like each other, basically division. When you get somebody who can rile people up over division, that's not a good thing. No matter how you want to look at it, because that's what breaks people. That's what the government would never want is people to come together. Because you come together, you overthrow. You
No,
need division.
but Republicans don't say that they're about division. They just say, "Hey, we support deportation because we
They
don't think
show
it's right
division.
that you give illegals a chance to be." What do you say about people who are so supportive of Trump's deports because he want to get rid of all, not just the illegals, but pretty much he got a lot of
Look,
stuff planned for people.
I put it like this. Yeah, he talking about he gonna activate the military, National Guard to get them out of here. But like, okay, you know, obviously everybody. I'm not gonna say everybody because a lot of people don't know because they didn't even know that Obamacare was fucking the Affordable Care Act. So I guess a lot of people don't know, but I guess people don't take into consideration of these jobs that a lot of these so-called illegals are doing. They're doing because nobody else, citizen-wise, wants to fucking do. I mean, and that's just honest. Like, if someone told you right now that you got to go work in a field and they need you to be outside all day, planting shit, picking shit, building shit, you gonna want, hey, in the heat, in this cold, you gonna have to pay me about 45 an hour
But
minimum.
why do you think that though? That's before. Why do you think that you can get paid $45 an hour?
I'm saying that's what people are gonna expect because that's what you have grown. That's what you have grown to know. I mean, that's the world.
Exactly.
Because
That's
you're gonna
my
have to do those
point. When
jobs.
people say they're against deportation and all, and why do people just want to pay cheap and all this kind of stuff? Why are you blaming these people who are not used to even getting paid $15 an hour that they're willing to take 18 when you're willing to take 40?
Yeah,
So
and
you're going to kick them back to the country where they're doing the same job, but they're getting
yeah,
paid $10. So you're going to force them there. Right? Or I take that back. They're not saying we're forcing them. They're just saying we don't want them to cross the border illegally. My whole thing with this
yeah,
JT is if you were born and raised in Mexico and there was a way to
yeah,
get to America legally that was sufficient, would you not just go legally?
yeah.
You know how many people die trying to get to America illegally? That's what people
Oh,
don't
I know.
understand. People
Yeah,
die trying to get to America illegally. Why do you
yeah,
think that? Is it because America's making it real easy to get here? Is it
yeah,
because they're making okay? So when I say this whole Trump thing is more about it's not just about politics, it's more about love and people. Everything Trump and Republicans try to do is about division.
yeah.
It's about I'm selfish. I don't want you to get it. I just want to get it. Like that's what is that about? Like I heard something that people were saying you can come to the country and America will give you a grant or whatever. Like why are you hurting about that
Mm,
shit?
yeah. That people those are rumors started to cause that division to make to swing those votes. And once again, people follow. So people hear this shit, social media. What they gonna do? Oh, I'm then that's my reason. I mean, that's what people wait for because you have to think. And I always said this: a lot of the jobs that these illegal immigrants are taking is not a job that there's not a job that these people, I first of all, want, that are citizens or whatnot. But it's not. They can't even really get the jobs that really pay the money. So like a job that something simple as working at Walmart, working at McDonald's. An illegal immigrant cannot go work at McDonald's. Facts. They can't. They can't go work at a grocery store. Now these are jobs that are hiring all the time, turnovers all the time. So when you say, "Oh, they're taking our jobs," no, they're not. They're not taking
But
the
but
jobs
what?
because the
Okay,
jobs
let's
are
just
out
say
there.
that they're going legally. Let's just say that they become legal, and then they get a job that person could
Well,
have
they
got.
got every
Oh,
right if they legal.
either way, like what's the? And let's
Everybody's an
say that, but
immigrant.
let's say that they also take less. Like, how you gonna get mad at somebody being willing to take less and live off less than you?
Yeah, I mean that because everybody's an immigrant that's in this country. We all just are legal now. I mean, so I mean, there's no difference between if you go through the process and become legal, you're just like everybody else because that's what everybody else did. I mean, your ancestors, whatever, they all came over here. This is nobody was here at first. Like the United States was not the first whatever
I be
location,
trying to
continent,
tell
whatever you want
people
to.
that, man. Like, why y'all
Like
acting like
everybody's an
y'all
immigrant.
own, like you own Earth? Like, you don't own
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah.
Like you better
So
thank God that you was born in America,
yeah,
because we
you were
could
just
have been
born here.
born
That's
in
all it was.
Afghanistan or some shit. Like,
Yeah, people don't, and that's sometimes I really I think about stuff like that, and like people get so trapped in like the fact of how bad things may be for them here or wherever. Nigga, your best day, your worst day, I should say, is somebody's best fucking day all over this country. Like
ooh,
hands down.
ooh.
People don't realize that shit. Like there's people who would on your worst day where you think, oh, this shit is so fucked up. Your car broke down, you ain't got no money, you gotta walk to work. Nigga, you got shoes on your feet. There's somebody that gotta do the same shit that ain't got shoes. Or
Don't
somebody
got
who
shoes,
gotta walk down the street, they getting shot at. I mean,
and
other
that could be
countries are
in
way
America
different. But
too.
people who don't, it could be in America. But there's a people like the world is not just here. And people don't see that. That's why do you think people want to come here? They're trying to escape how bad shit is over there. Like I don't I don't know. Like it to me,
How many countries got border issues where a bunch of
yeah,
people from
that
America
wanna yeah,
are
they wanna
trying to
yeah.
go into there?
We have it because we the only people that they want to come here.
Well, how dare y'all say, I was born here. I chose to be born in this country.
You know,
You chose to be born there in North Korea. You chose to be
yeah.
born in North Korea. How dare you come to
That and that is crazy. Like people don't realize that. Then you got the then they advertising on TV locations where they want people to move to. They want you to move to North Dakota and Ohio, all these states where ain't nobody at. These cornfields. They want you to move out there. Nobody
why?
just want to go there. Nobody want to go there. They flood in places like Houston. So you do feel like yes, it's a lot of people. But that's because people are going to the most populated cities. That's really how it is. But
Hey, look, man.
man,
We wrapping up here. Look, I gotta. We've been for. I was saying I got my friend. We've been knowing each other pretty much half our life now.
yeah,
That's crazy. Pretty
yeah,
much
yeah,
half our life, to the point where I know we got Thanksgiving coming up too. I know you be being around family, cousins, nephews, be like, dang, you
yeah.
tall. Be all that kind of stuff, man. I got a nephew that I be like, dang, this is crazy. He doing music now, right? Like he
Yeah,
going through the same. He plays sports. He did. It's like you see life repeating itself, right? So now you start to. I be feeling like, man, I like again. This podcast ain't just for me to be yapping. Like I could be doing other shit. Everybody, I could rather be just
yeah,
going to sleep, right? Like I could be playing the game. This ain't to yap, but I be like, what? I be thinking it's up to us to make sure that
yeah.
anybody younger than us don't make the same mistakes.
Oh yeah,
And how can we help them do that? And I think we the perfect people to do it as 33, 34, whatever, if we still young, we are not
Yeah.
old, life is not gone. We still got a lot of time to do everything we plan. But at the same time, me and you the same way. We didn't try to do a lot of shit now.
Oh yeah.
We didn't try to
Not
do a
going
lot of
to
shit now. So what do we, let's just have that conversation for all the people, the young people, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26. They going through some shit mentally now.
Yeah.
What can we say to them to just talk to them about what it really takes? Like, can anyone truly do anything? Can anyone truly do anything? Because that's what everybody say, right? When they make it, they be getting their award. They be like, man, you can do anything.
I look. I would say hard work pays off, but there's hard work pays off, and there's right place, right time. There's right location, right people, right connections. There a lot of it plays into it. I don't. You could do anything, yes. You can try for anything. You can go for anything, but just know it's gonna take a lot of hard work. If you don't have the right connections, you're not in the right place, you don't meet the right people. But it's all possible. But your level of effort can be different than a lot of people. That's so when you see, like you say, people get on stage, oh, you can do anything. Yeah, you can, but you have to have a hell of a effort if you're not in the right place, the right situation, know the right people, or get lucky. Sometimes people get lucky. Some people do. I do think some people get lucky, just like winning the lottery. Some people do get lucky. It is a thing. Everything's an odd. Against the odds, beating the odds, whatever you want to call it. But I do have my other take on things like that. But I don't know if we want to
Your
get
other
into
thing.
that. But
Well, would you say? Would you say the percentage? Would you say based on everything? Because I know you watch a lot, listen to a lot of podcasts. You watch a lot of stuff. We're both
mhm.
old enough to experience. Would you say is what's the higher percentage? Luck, hard work, right place, knowing the right people. What's the higher percentage that it takes to for somebody to
Well,
really do really? Because again,
hard work.
we're talking about any goal that you have that's big,
Nah,
really.
no, I say hard work over everything. Because even if right place, know the right people, luck, you still have to be working at it to get it. I mean, regardless. I mean, even if you know the right people, if you ain't doing the shit that you're trying to do, I mean, you got to put the work in regardless. At some point within that, even if the luck happens, you still have to already have the work to get lucky. Now, obviously, we're not talking about the lottery or some shit like that, but even with the lottery, though, same situation though, still true. You still got to go through the process of getting the damn ticket and going through all the shit and filling shit out. I mean, you got to put the work in no matter what you do. So
So let's talk
hard
to
work
people
overall.
about the work, man. Do you think a lot of people don't know what that work entails? Like, so let's just talk about this podcast.
Hmm.
Now I'll talk about this pod. I'll just talk about myself. Uh, I've done podcasts before, right? I've
Yeah,
had podcasts before. I've had it with other partners. I've tried to do it myself. I've had podcasts before. I've had podcasts that's last up to a year or two, I think, of consistent episodes. I've had podcasts before. But what is different with this one is I'm challenging myself to work as hard as possible to make sure that I never stop this one, basically.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And so I agree with you when you say, what does it take to meet your goals? Because like if you have a goal of just getting a job, you're gonna get that job. Like we're not talking about
yeah,
those kind of goals. We talking about the big goals, the things that keep you up at night type shit, right? Like those
yeah.
kind of things. The things that you really, really just see yourself doing. What stops people from doing that usually is the hard work part.
Oh
It
yeah,
usually is, but also it's the like for we can talk from an experience point of view. It's harder than we be thinking, and I'm saying that we from a person who don't have kids yet,
yeah,
and I know you coming from a person who everything you've tried to do, you've had kids. Like everything you try to do in the adulthood, you had at least. So I'm coming. I'm telling you for right now, it's hard as shit even without them.
yeah,
So don't even like if you thinking if you have kids, like I'm telling you right now, the shit would have been hard anyway. Because
yeah,
you basically have to sacrifice all your freedom to that shit?
I mean, I say like just going back to the thing, like even with a job though, I'll be honest with you, even with a job, because and this is just something that I've seen. There's like Indeed, right? LinkedIn, all these little places, right? They have like quick applies, easy applies, right? You got to hit one button, boom, they send your shit over there. I can tell you, there's probably on every one of those jobs, they probably get at least because it's a quick apply. They probably get at least 500, 600 applicants, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the jobs that you got to go in, you got to fill out every single fucking line.
Yeah.
Those jobs probably only have probably about 20 applicants, but you want to know why? Because those people are putting work in to fill out that fucking job application, but they have a way higher chance of getting their job. So just because of that shit, yeah, hard work, niggas, and everything. But to the point of the
It's a good
sacrifice,
point, right? I see what you're
but
saying.
yeah, it's work. No matter what you do, you gotta put an effort, nigga. That's everything. But with like the sacrifice with like the kids and shit, like, well, I've had kids since I was out of high school, pretty much. So
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
with military, I done all type of shit. So I mean, it's effort, nigga. But to me, like, I mean, everybody's different. But to me, my kids, having kids, to me was motivation, nigga. Like that, because before I had my first child, I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't planning on doing shit at the time. I remember I was working at Best Buy. Best Buy, nigga. I wasn't even going into work. I was missing work. Calling in. I think them niggas called me into the office, nigga, because I wasn't going into that motherfucker. No call, no show, everything. Wasn't giving a fuck. Matter of fact, I quit Best Buy. Got a job at FedEx, nigga. And when I was working at FedEx, I did so many no calls, no show. They called me and told me you on your last leg. I was about to get clicked out the
Nigga,
job because I didn't
you
give a
used to
fuck.
talk shit about me, and you was turning
No,
up
but
before I got there.
this was in the beginning. This was in the beginning. But I didn't give a fuck. I didn't have no reason. I didn't have no motivation. It was just me. And so but like I said, I mean, it hits everybody different because some people get in that same situation, they shut the fuck down. But to me, I got in this situation, I saw it, and I was like, well, I'm not finna not do shit. So I, go out there and make it happen. I mean, everything is hard work. You got to put in work for everything. I mean, just for the simplest things, nigga. Like there's nothing comes for free. Put it that way. So even shit, we can go back to the fucking people the immigrants, whatever you want to call it. Like that's still work, nigga. You ain't walking like you just said. How many people die? You ain't walking over here.
Let's talk.
Everything
Okay, like I can talk about the podcast. I talked a little bit about that, but if you may, can you talk about the clothing business?
Clothing?
Because I know you still now. What can a lot of people who think, oh, I'm about to just print some shirts and I'm about to motherfucking be shipping 100 shirts a day? Can you give people to? Because I'm not saying it's not possible. Can you give people the
No,
reality?
it's possible. But I guess in my experience,
sure,
I see it two different ways. So when I was doing it, making it is no problem. Like making a design or whatever. I'm not gonna say it's no problem, but there's a lot to it that I took into consideration. Somebody even asked me. Some guy came up to me and he saw one of my designs. He was like, "Oh man, I like that." But how do you know somebody's not gonna copy your design? How do you know somebody not just gonna make that exact same shirt you made and put it on their website? And I said, man, that's a good question. I mean, I can copyright it, but do you think I'm gonna go ahead and copyright in my time that I have? That I'm gonna sit here and copyright every one of these fucking albums? Hell fuck no, I'm not.
they say cost money too
But
now.
and it costs money. And it's paperwork. Because I have trademark papers. And I have submitted trademark papers.
Oh
and
shit.
it's paperwork. Yeah, it's paperwork. And so it is a process. And but I'd never had nobody ask me that before. And then when he asked me that, it kind of hit me.
Crazy.
And then so one time I was on social media and I saw a design. Because like, okay, I made my own, I guess, shirt business page on social media.
Which was free, by the way. That's the free part. Everybody be like, "Hey, I'm about to start this business. Go create a page." But like, "Hey,
that was free." And then I started paying for a drop ship business who can basically, when you order my shirt, they ship you the shirt, and I get a percentage. But my percentage from that company was only like $3, nigga, off of a shirt. Obviously because I'm choosing good material. I'm not gonna choose some shitty ass material. I'm choosing good material. And I want
And
my
you were
profit.
selling the
So
shirts, just to give people an example, you were selling the shirts for how much?
I think those shirts are like 16 to 20.
So if you were selling, okay, so you were selling it for about 16, and they would, and you only keep 3. Dang, okay,
Like
okay.
$3 to $4, yeah.
So okay,
And so off of that though, I mean, personally, I'm not seeing a lot of profit from that because I'm paying through these people.
yeah, that's
So
only
then it's
20%.
like, yeah, but then it's like, okay, ship on your own, do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it comes into the fact once again, now you got to get orders, you still got to ship it yourself. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But I think with me personally, one of the biggest goals or one of the biggest advantages you can have if you start a t-shirt business or something like that, just from my experience, if you're making something, it has to be something unique. Meaning, there's a lot of people who can draw, who good on drawing, who good on Adobe, Photoshop, who can get on these programs and make something that is not out there. I think that is a very key part. Where if you just print something with some letters on it and you haven't trademarked that shit can be stolen. Your idea can be stolen because my point with the social media site, I put up my site. I got, I don't know, like maybe 20 some followers, and I posted maybe 3 shirts. Didn't really promote the page. I didn't do shit. I just posted it, but people just automatically followed that page. And it really made me think, like, why the fuck these niggas just randomly start following me? But then it popped in my mind, like, damn, maybe these niggas is looking for ideas. Because I know when I want an idea, sometimes I search through social media. I see an idea, I'll be like, ooh, I'm not gonna copy that idea, but it gives me an idea of what I can make a shirt off of. And I think a lot of
But you
people
damn sure people gonna copy it,
people
because
gonna
there's a
copy
lot
it.
of people who going because that's, I mean, look, there's a reason why you have these trademarks and copyright. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
reason why you got it.
yeah,
I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's a reason why you got these laws and these bills, is because people used to copy people's shit.
yeah, sure. Sure, straight up. That's why you have to, if you wanna, if that's what you're gonna do, you gotta be serious about it to know, okay, well, if I'm gonna make this design, I gotta go get this bitch copyrighted. So if somebody does steal my design, I can go out there and sue their ass and get that money from it. But
See, man, that's why this
it's
conversation is needed, because that what you just said, I can promise you this, and I'm not saying a lot, but I would say maybe 5 out of 10 people who've done clothing businesses will even tell you that.
yeah,
They would even
it's
tell
it's,
you that,
it's,
and
it's
maybe
yeah.
because a lot of the 5 people who didn't probably didn't even know about it.
Yeah, a lot of because a lot of people think you have to forget like this world is diabolical, nigga. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody that's following you is following you for the same purpose. People is following you for different reasons, and one of those reasons could be to get ideas. And it's true. And I'll never forget when that guy asked me. I did not have an answer for him. I said that and I was like, I don't
So
know.
let's say somebody would have told you, you would have let's say you would have went to this master class. In this
hmm
master class, you would have known, hey, JT, to start your clothing store. I'm talking about an online clothing store where you have a website, you have, and you wanted to do print from home, right? What did you want to do? Like, what was your preference
Uh, in the
when you
beginning, nigga,
first
I was just
started? I
making it.
mean,
When I was first started, it was all for me. So it was print from home, if
okay.
and sell straight out for me.
So what if somebody said, look, if you want to do the print from home, have the website, meaning you're gonna be able to have sales, have the social media, and have, I don't know, 15 designs, and to be able to protect your art, it's gonna cost $5,000. Would that have deterred you from starting, or would you have been like, okay, I know everything that's gonna happen. I'm gonna have these shirts. I'm gonna have the trademarks. It's gonna cost me 5,000, and I'm ready to go. Or was it the fact that you knew that you probably could get away with starting it at, I don't know what you spent, but let's say 1,000, and you knew you could
Mm.
start with 1,000, and that's what got you started.
If somebody would have told me that, now, if I would have already seen that my shirts are selling, like my clothing is selling,
Okay.
maybe I would have considered it. Uh, but my philosophy, I guess, I'd rather get do me. I'd rather have my hands in
Yeah.
everything I fucking do. But that's just me personally. Like I don't like outsourcing shit because it's just me. I feel like I like hands-on approach to everything because I like things to go my fucking way, nigga. I'm OCD with that shit. So,
Right.
would I have taken some shit like that? Probably not, to be honest. No, but maybe I should. But I wouldn't have.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. We don't like that's the reason why we have like okay, so podcasting, right? And you watch podcasts a lot, right? I mean, let's just call it what it is. You listen to podcasts. Like, I don't care if it's comedy. Like, all of that shit is a show, a podcast, or
Yeah.
something. And a lot of these shows get monetized. They get a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Like, Nightcap with Unc and Ocho, they making money. They not just doing this shit for
Sure.
fun. Them
Yeah.
they making money, advertising dollars, sponsorship, shit like that, right? So and obviously you have to make good content to even get people to get enough views to even get get those deals. So when you think about podcasting, it's easy to think about, well, why should I start a podcasting business? You can convince anybody why. The thing
Yeah.
is if you go to YouTube right now and go search podcasts and search like filter and you'll see a bunch of podcasts that's been
Oh yeah.
around for years with 20,
Yeah.
30 followers. You'll see some with 10,000, 5,000. You'll see some, you look up 20 podcasts that was created 2 years ago. You may see some with 1 million, but you're going to see a lot of them with 2,000. You're going to see a lot with 5. So it really does depend on how hard you work. And that's what I be seeing. It always
It's
comes down to how hard you work, nigga.
it's the hard work, but then those other things do. That's why I say it's some other things too that can factor in to that situation. Like I I think
You
if
got
you cut the tape, and I'm gonna get into something real. This is not to say like this is how everything is,
we
but
gotta be
I
real
do
now.
no I do think part of this is it. I do think in my that some things life is kind of predetermined, and when I say that, I say I think some things are just meant to happen. I think a lot of things are meant to happen. If not all things are meant to happen. So let's say this person works hard as fuck every day, right? And they don't get whatever, but this person does not work hard as fuck, but they get whatever. I think maybe that's how it's meant to be. Now, I think in a way, certain people like you're already going to work hard. Like it was already destined for you to work hard. It wasn't gonna. I don't know. It makes sense to me, but I think
Well,
everything is like predetermined.
can I
That's
give
like,
you?
oh, hmm
You know Shannon Sharp, right?
hmm
He talks a lot about his childhood, and he
yeah,
talks about how he grew up. Even when there were homes with toilets and working water and stuff, he grew up in a town where he didn't have all that.
yeah,
He grew up in a town where they had to catch thousands of chickens at the age of like 7, 8 years old, and they would get $5, $6, and
yeah,
they were poor basically. You
yeah.
don't think that has something to do with why he worked so hard and why he's so strategic about his move?
But you have to think. But this is part of that part of it.
Uh-huh.
It's pre. All these things are supposed to happen anyway because for him to be born into that situation, so many things before him had to happen for him. You know how many sperm and are in your body and shit? Like for this person to be born in that situation to come out and be where they are, that was supposed to happen. Because I mean, he's motivating certain people. If he was
Yeah.
never there, there's certain people that wouldn't do what they're doing or be doing what they're doing. That's just like even with like a rapper, right? Or anybody, nigga, you can say anything like that. But if this person doesn't live like Juice World, I like Juice World. I don't know if you remember Juice World, but
I remember, yeah.
um, Juice World inspired a lot of artists that are now rapping who are blowing up or what you want to call it. But now Juice World died, right? Overdose. So Juice WRLD's not here anymore. But if Juice WRLD were here, there's a lot of these people who wouldn't be in a position that they're in. I mean, I just like I said, I think a lot of things are
Yeah. Yeah.
almost like predetermined. I think like when you say like with him in that situation, had he never went through that, no, he probably wouldn't be who he is now. But because he went through that, he is who he is now. But he was born into that. He was gonna go through that anyway. Just like earlier when we talk about people that were born here and were not born here. That's almost the luck of the draw if you want to say it. But like I said, once again, it almost feels like it's all meant to happen. You're in your situation. You can work hard in any situation. But I think you were already gonna work hard in that situation. It was already predetermined you were gonna work hard. Now to you it does feel like I'm working hard. Yes, because you are. But it was already predetermined that you were going to do that. That's
and again, I'm trying to phrase this in a way because again, like we know each other, so me and you both know where where I want to be. I know where I think I know where you kind of want to be. Like we know each other. So, are we saying? So? You say hard work matters. I'm going to say that I haven't accomplished the things that I've wanted to accomplish for one big reason more than anything. I'm not going to talk about faith and all that right now. I'm going to just say hard work, meaning anything that I look back on, I always come back to be like, you know what? There was some. If I would have worked harder, it don't matter how early I get up, none of that. You know what? I didn't do enough, and I always say that because I really do believe that. I feel like this what we doing right now. There's times, nigga, where I don't even want to edit the videos. Well, that ain't gonna get me nowhere. Right? Because I see the people that's really making it, not only are they making good content, it's one thing to make good content, but they publishing 7-8 videos a day. So that means they got somebody chopping it up or they whatever it is, right? So I can make excuses to say, oh, well, I'm a one-man show. I wasn't Shannon Sharp. He had $1 million when he retired and started doing. I can't make that excuse because guess what? There's a million stories of niggas who had less than money than me, who all of a sudden. So I'll be like, okay, what's the purpose of all this, Donovan? Why are we doing this? There's younger niggas out there, nigga, that need to know you control all this shit. You need to get right with God, of course, but you control how hard you work, nigga. Like you can sleep 6 hours a day and still work harder than a motherfucker who sleeps 8 hours or 9 hours. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You can sleep 3 hours a day. You can sleep 6. It ain't got. What are you doing, really? You can have 3 kids, you can have no kids, right? Like you can have this is the purpose of it. You got to get your mind right for the reality that anybody that's where you trying to get to, you better give them motherfuckers some respect, nigga. Because them niggas was not watching the Dallas Cowboys games on Monday night unless they job revolved around it, right? Them niggas was not at the club with their friends 4 times a year. Like we don't even go out that much, nigga. But guess what? It's some motherfuckers that made it. That's where we want to be. That don't go out less than us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah.
It's all about hard work. It's all about hard work. So, anybody that's watching this, man, just know you listening to 2 people who still trying to get what we want to get to, who trying to understand what it's gonna take. And we haven't figured. I know I can say honestly, I haven't figured it out yet, nigga. I haven't figured it out yet. But what we can agree on though, it's gonna take a lot of work. The ones that make it, they are outliers. They the outliers.
See, the work I feel is everything is everything you do, like taking any step. So let's say like with the music, the podcast, the attempts to do the podcast, whatever the case may be, that is the hard work. I mean, like, and I'm gonna go to some with the music real quick.
Right.
But so like we're putting the music in, maybe nothing ever comes from it, right? Maybe not ever. But I'm okay with that shit. Just like let's say with the podcast, maybe nothing ever comes from it. Okay with that shit. You putting in the work, it don't matter because, like I said, the same thing I said earlier. You have to put in the work for all the other little shit that could possibly come, like the lucky, the right place, right time, right people, whatever, the right connections. The only way that's ever gonna appear is if you put in the work. So with the music, with the podcast, the fact that you're doing it and you continue to do it and you stay consistent doing it, that's the hardest part of the battle of anything. All the other shit, it's gonna come with time. Like just like J. Cole putting out his little beginning tapes right now, like when he was at the beginning. And there was a bunch of shit
That's
he
a good
threw away, a
point.
bunch of shit he kept. Like J. Cole even said himself, there's a time where he was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this shit no more. Like it ain't happening. But he just kept putting shit out there. Boom, look what happened. It's the consistency of no matter how many times something doesn't work, that you keep pushing for it to try for it. That's really it. Is how many times you get knocked down, how many times you will get back up, because shit is never. Like I said, unless you're just lucky, shit don't ever work on the first time, nigga. Shit don't ever go how you plan it to go, how you think it's gonna fucking go. Something's gonna fuck up, but are you gonna keep going? Yeah, you might. 1,000 things might not work, but you never know. This one podcast could be the podcast that bam. I mean, you never know. I mean, that's just how shit is. But you gotta work. You gotta take the first step and then worry about the rest.
And to end it, man, it sounds a little bit like it sounds a little bit about the Bible. It sounds a little bit like
Yeah.
faith. It sounds a little bit like if you see a lot of people say, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I believe." Okay, well, what about when you get tested? What
Yeah.
about when you get fired tomorrow? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
My mind be thinking about shit like that. I be like, damn, what if I get fired tomorrow? Am I gonna go crazy? Treat my wife crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I gonna go crazy? I be thinking, like, I know I'm gonna be okay because I'm already thinking about it. But it be people like, you gotta be prepared for this shit because God gonna test you, especially
Anything.
when you
Yeah.
get what you want. That's the thing about it is, as soon as the podcast hit 1,000,000, he gonna be like, okay, let me send all these haters here and hit some feelings that you probably don't really
Yeah.
comfortable with and see what you gonna say. Are you gonna turn into one of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, are
That's
you?
that's 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 to me how they always say, like in the Bible and just in general, like how the devil comes in disguise and all that. Like I think it's not as simple as somebody seeing it as like one person or something. Like I think it's everything. I think the disguise is it's anything. It's that moment, like you just said, you get fired, or that moment where something happens and you on top of the world, but then this small little thing, something big or big in your life, you know what I'm saying, happens. But it may be a small thing, but it's big to you, and it happens, and it could like set your whole shit back. That's the devil in disguise. Because now, what are you gonna do? Because that we, watch these like documentaries of like these people who like kill people, and they have so many documentaries on Netflix about these killers and stuff. And it's kind
Yeah,
of like, man, wow, how are these people? Why are they like this? Where did they come from?
right.
Because something when they were younger, a lot of times when they were younger, something happened in their life, but something in that moment, it triggered them. It changed them. That was the devil in disguise. I mean, it made you who you are. And a lot of people, you're faced with those decisions all the time. Like a situation where somebody does get let go from a job. Now they go shoot up the job. They're faced with that decision right there because in that moment, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you're back against the wall? Where you gonna go? Left, right? What you gonna do? And that's the devil coming at you in those moments. And you choosing, you gonna choose the devil? Are you not? That's life. You gonna choose to give up? Are you not? I mean, so I'll say you keep working. Everything you do, you take a step and you keep going. That's it.
Got to. On that
Yeah.
note, man, look, we over time, man. We over time. It's time to
Yeah,
hop
we
on
yeah,
Call of
yeah.
Duty. Hey, what we about to do? What you about to do? What we about to do?
Yeah. You know, I'm
2K
about to
on
go
Call.
drop. I'm about to go drop 40 on somebody. 40 points,
Oh
that is.
Lord, 2K, you
Hey
about to help?
man. Hey, we can get on the
Oh,
Call of Duty now. We can get on Call of Duty.
go ahead and play 2K, nigga. I already know you
I
got your
got a nice little
mindset up.
work from home tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I may get on. It depends on how I feel. It depends on how the food hit.
Oh shit. So you ain't getting on then.
It depends on how
You
the
ain't getting on
food
the
hit. All
God
right, nigga. I
damn.
appreciate you joining me. Look, this is the end of the episode 2 of
Mm.
driving me sane. Driving me sane. Hey, so when I say driving me sane, what you think about the name? What you think? What you think about the name?
You know, honestly, I seen your TikToks, right?
Yeah.
The driving me sane when you in the car and you doing it,
Oh shit.
hey, that whole hit because you in the car and you like talking about shit. Hey, it hits like that. Like, straight up.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
right here to God. I swear to God, I never even thought about this.
Hey, that whole hits. And I was like, man, that's actually it's catchy. Cause you in the car talking about shit that's going on. And you driving. So it's driving you saying, hey.
I'm gonna keep
Nah,
that.
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna keep
I
that.
like it.
All right, nigga. I'm gonna let you go. I may see you on Call of Duty later.
Man. All
All
right.
right, nigga.
Peace.
All right.